All right, what's going on, little brother? First and foremost, we done came a long way, ladies and gentlemen. Y'all know we done came a long way. As y'all remember, on our last interview, my brother, little brother, I might as well call him little big brother. Uh, he was just talking about if Bama could get a win against Texas A&M. He said if they could get a win, they was going to soar, and soar they did. I know it's been a little while since we talked about this, but bro, first and foremost, y'all say hello to him. Let me get this straight. If y'all don't know who this is, y'all must be living on a rock. This is my little brother, Antoine Caldwell, the greatest center to ever play at Alabama. That's my opinion. I'm a little biased, of course. That's my little brother.
Just a little bit, but that's all right.
Go on, tell him, bro, little bro, who you is. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. No, you got it. Yeah, definitely, man. It's Bama through and through. I think they know. I think they know what time it is.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, my brother said, like I was saying earlier, I'm going to repeat myself because I was stuttering a little bit. I apologize. I'm appalled at my behavior. But anyways, my brother said if Bama could get a win down there at Texas A&M, they was going to soar, and soar they did. Bro, we got to catch up with them. Tell me about what you thought about the Auburn game. I know these War Eagles. Don't get me started with them. They want to know about that, and tell me what you thought about the Georgia game. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, man. It has been a little bit since the A&M game, and I'm happy to say that I guess I did call it right. I'm happy to see that we in this position now. I just kind of starting with the A&M game, man. I just kind of felt like that was our first real road test. You know what I mean? A big game, an important game, and in a game that at the time was kind of like 50-50. You didn't know what Alabama team was going to show up.
Oh, yeah.
So being able to get that win, I do think it did a lot for our confidence as a team, and even the coaches. I mean, everybody was trying to kind of find out who we were and what we were about. So I think the A&M game was definitely a turning point in the season for us. And then, kind of fast forward into the Auburn game, I think I told everybody that would listen that this is the type of year that you go down to Auburn. It's always crazy stuff that happens when you play at Auburn.
Yeah.
I mean, it's from when I was there, even before I was there till now, it's always something when you play down there, especially one of those seasons where everything's kind of lining up for Alabama. Like you feel like all you got to do is get past them and you get to the championship. It's always a tough game. So I kind of knew going into it, I knew what it was going to be. Now did I think it was going to be that dramatic, how it ended? No, I didn't. But this is the first time in a while I could say that we actually came out on top of one of those crazy games. Most of the time it goes the other way. So, I love everybody, but I just, roll tide to my Auburn people. Y'all tried, but we got you.
Y'all
But
tried.
yeah, but no, man, it was great to finally get over the hump on that one. And then the Georgia game was one of those ones that I just, I saw even at the game the energy the team had. The team seemed like they
You was at that game.
knew they were supposed to be there.
Yeah, you was at that game, wasn't
Yep, was at the game, and man, you could just tell by the energy. Like the team they came ready to go. Like they seemed very fired up in the pregame. I just think they had the right mentality. I think they had been kind of hearing all year, like, oh well, we're pretty good, but not really that good. We're not as Milroe this and all these other things that was kind of holding the team back. And I think the team kind of said, hey, this is the game that we need to show everybody that we still might not be a dominant Alabama team of the past, but we still can be good enough to get the job done. So I think that was the perfect type of game for that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. And now, Alabama fans, this is for y'all. Anytime there's obnoxious fans on Alabama side too. Now, before y'all get mad at me. Anytime these Auburn fans try to say, kick six, fear the thumb. When they say that junk, see, my brother had to deal with that. He played during that time. Anytime they try to say that, you say 4th and 31, braved it. That's all you got to say. Hey,
There
no,
you go. There you go. That's the new one. Yeah, they used to print out all the bumper tags on the
yeah,
cars
yeah.
and all that. Well, okay, that'll be our new tag that we can pull out and put on all the cars. So I like it. Let's go with it.
There it is. There it is. Man, but man, I'm just happy for Bama, man. Milroe came a long way. He surprised me. I'll be
Yeah,
the first one to tell you, I ain't think he had it, but
right.
he's a you football player, so you know better than I would, because I ain't played the game like you did. So
Yeah, I think we talked about it a little bit in the last one we did. I was talking specifically about Milroe. I felt like he's the type of player that there are a lot of players that get better in practice. Like, that's why you practice, right? You practice to get better, obviously. But he's
oh man, interview acting crazy.
better. Like he needs live, that's what I like to call it, live bullets.
Yeah.
So I think he needed live bullets to get better in the game. So I think, kind of him getting more game reps, getting more comfortable, getting a little bit more confidence. I think that did wonders for him. And he was the type of player that, of course, you're going to get a little better the more practice you get, more reps you get. But he needed to be in the game, getting those reads, seeing how the defense reacts to certain things. He's that type of player. And once he started really getting those game reps, and we were able still to survive and win some of those games. So now not only is he getting more experience and more comfortable, but he's also getting more confident because we're winning at the same time, right? So when you're doing both of those, you can turn into a dangerous player, and I feel like that's what's happening with him.
Oh yeah, y'all heard that. Now I hate to bring this up, bro, because I really don't care about these schools, but you football player. FSU up here fussing and complaining that we got over them in the playoff. Tell me your whole thought process on that, bro. And
You
see,
know,
one more thing, then I shut up.
okay,
I talked to an Auburn lady. This Auburn fan. Now she said, I don't know why FSU complaining. We got left out on our phone. You know what I'm saying?
right.
Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, yeah. Man, I've kind of heard it all just like you have, and I think let me start on the side of FSU. Let's say I was going to defend them, right? I would
Yeah.
say this. Yeah, I understand there has never been a team that's gone 12-0, undefeated, and won a conference championship that has been left out of the college football playoff. I understand that. That's history. You can't deny that or debate with it. So I understand where they're coming from. I understand.
Yeah.
Here's what I would say to counter it for our defense. And of course, obviously, I'm a little bit biased, but I'm gonna put that to the side for a second. I'm gonna look at it very objectively.
Yeah.
The
Mhm.
college football playoff committee's job is to get they say to get the best four teams, which I think in this case they did do. But here's what they don't say that is even more important. They want to make the best matchups that's going to get the best ratings so they make the most money.
Yep.
That's where it is. So everyone knows if they would have put Florida State in that game, Florida State would have lost by 30 to whoever they played against.
Yeah.
So by the second quarter, people would have been cutting the game off, going to do something else, and they lose ratings, therefore they lose money. They don't
They
want to do
want
that.
another TCU Georgia, didn't they? They
Exactly.
TCU Georgia.
And you know what? That's a great point. I'm
Yep.
glad you brought that up. I think Florida State was hurt because of what TCU did the year before in the championship game.
Yep.
TCU would have put up a better performance in that game versus Georgia. Then I think the committee, not saying they necessarily still would have, but they would have gave them more of a more of an argument to
Yep.
put Florida State in the championship. But you got the TCU performance of last year; they didn't show up.
Yep.
Then you got Florida State has their quarterback hurt. So I really think in this scenario, I understand it why they're upset, but I think the committee's job was to get the best four, and on top of that, they need to get the best ratings. That's why they did what they did. So.
See, the thing though, also, bro, if they want to fuss about the conference championship, TCU got in there and they lost their conference championship. They lost. They lost to the people that Bama beat in the bowl game.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I'm like, Y'all would fuss like that. And me personally, I think TCU should never been in there, even thought about. They
Right, right,
y'all
right.
got embarrassed. Like I'm gonna quote Joe Tessitore from ESPN. Shout out to you, Joe Tessitore, if you ever listen to this. He said it's gonna be a slaughter. It ain't even gonna be fair. That's what he said before the game. And he was
Wow.
so
I didn't know he said that, but yeah,
I watched it.
yeah, but he's spot on. I mean, I think everybody knew that Georgia was going to win. Now I can't go out and say that I knew it would be. What it ended up being like 55-7, whatever it
you
was.
being you being polite. 65-7.
Oh wow, yeah. Well, yeah. I mean that's like you can't have those type of matchups in a championship game. You just can't do it. And I think the committee saw what happened last year. They knew that would happen again, and they're like, we can't justify this. Now let me say this: if Florida State would have had their quarterback,
Yeah.
he didn't break his leg. You know what? I'm the first to tell you, hey, go ahead, put him in. It's this. You don't want to set precedent of not putting in an undefeated team that win their conference. You don't want to do that. But in this case, there is an exception. He was hurt, so I think they did that. They made the right decision.
Oh yeah. I was looking at it like this too, bro. Put my, like you said, put my Bama stuff aside. You should be rewarded for beating the #1 team in the nation that set records. Them boys, Georgia boys, they set records. They were like 23-0 or something like that. And
Yeah.
Bama beat them. So
Right.
yeah, and then dude on me and Dad Mac watch Josh Pate. He said that what did he say? He said Bama should have never been down at #8 in the first place. That was his thought.
Well, I think the reason they were doing that is they kept putting a lot of emphasis on Texas because Texas beat us, right? So they were never going to put us ahead of Texas because Texas beat us. So I think they put a lot of emphasis on head-to-head matchups.
Yeah,
So so I think since Texas beat us, no matter what, they were never going to put us in front of them, and they could never really justify putting Texas up to like number 2 or number 3. So I think they kept slowly grinding Texas move a little, then we would move. Texas would move, then we would move. So, at the end of the day, I really wasn't worried about where we're at. We're at 7, 8. I knew it all came down to we can't lose another game.
yep.
And in the SEC championship game, we got to beat Georgia. And also, you didn't want Georgia to slip up. You wanted Georgia to be undefeated when we played them like they were. So if we won, we at least gave ourselves the best shot. So I'm happy, like you said, that it worked out the way it did, and I'm excited to see them on Monday.
Oh yeah. Now, bro, you ain't going to that game, are you? The Rose Bowl.
No, no, I'm gonna hang. I'm gonna hang back. I'm gonna try to. I'm kind of rolling the dice, hoping that we get it done there because then the championship game is gonna be here in Houston the following week. So
It is. You go. That right down the street, ain't it?
yeah, oh yeah. So it'll be good to have Bama right here in at the home front. So I'm just hoping, man, they get it done. So that'll come to fruition.
Yeah. Speaking of that, bro, I'm gonna let's go a little bit. Tell me about your thoughts on the whole Bama and Michigan game. Your thoughts. You're a football player, so give us.
Yeah, what's interesting is I don't really do like the sports betting and all that, so I don't really get into like what the lines are and all that kind of stuff. But I mean, I understand it. I just don't get involved in it. But what's interesting is they have us as a 2-point underdog in this game, which you know Vegas clearly they a lot of times they kind of know what they're doing. But in this case, when I think about it, it's hard for me to see a team like Michigan that is an old school kind of team. They want to run the ball,
Yeah.
they want to play action, they kind of want to slow the game down. I don't remember a team that has been able to really run the ball basically down our throats since I've been there and been away from. I don't. Those type of teams normally don't have success versus us. So, not saying Michigan can't go out there and have the game of their lives and beat us. Sure, I mean, sure they can. That's why they #1 in the country. They're a good team.
Uh-huh.
But to me, if you look at the matchup, I don't see them being able to go out there and just consistently running the ball enough and beating us, because I think the teams that give us the most trouble are very explosive teams that have a lot of speed, a lot of down the field, deep balls, those different things like that. And Michigan doesn't really play that type of football. So, again, could they go play a great game, have the best game they've ever played? Of course they could. But when I think about it, not even being biased, I don't. It's hard for me to see them being who they are and beating us.
Gotcha, bro. Yeah, bro. Anything else, bro, you want to add? Did we cover all the points? I think I covered Michigan, Florida State, whining and complaining. Let me stop.
Yeah, I know.
Auburn game, tennis. Yeah. I think we covered it. It'll be good. Let you think anything else, bro.
No, I just, again, I'm excited to see it. I I'd like to play Texas again, to be honest with you. I love to see, not just because, it'd be in Houston, which would be great too, because that'd be a huge turnout. But I really do think, I think it'll be a different, ball game this time. I think Jalen was still trying to figure himself out. The second game of the year, I think he was just trying to get comfortable. I mean, I don't even know if he knew exactly what all was going on in the offense at that point, So I think obviously he probably played his worst game, but he also, if you really think about that game, we were still in the game. Even late in the game, we were in the game with him not playing particularly great. So I would love to see it again. That's what I'm hoping for. But I guess, to pull a Sabanism, I want to focus on Monday first against Michigan.
Yeah.
And then we can get to, worrying about, the next game, which is Texas or Washington, whoever. So I'm just excited to see it.
All right, bro. One last thing, there we go. Washington and Texas. A lot of people picking Texas, but the X factor, in my opinion, in that game is that Washington quarterback. I watched it. That boy, he a beast.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. It's crazy. I kind of feel like a lot of people aren't even talking about that game, really, the Texas-Washington game. They're kind of just, a lot of people are just automatically throwing Texas into the championship game. I agree with you, bro. I think Washington can upset Texas. I really do. I think Texas has a habit of always keeping teams in the game, no matter who they play against. I mean, they always keep games close pretty much their whole year. I mean, they'll be up 21 points, and then next thing in the fourth quarter, it's tied with 3 minutes left. They've done that 3 or 4 different times this year.
Yep.
My thing would be if they do that again versus Washington. Washington has the firepower in the quarterback to put you away.
That boy's a beast.
Yeah, he's a legitimate first round pick. He's a first round quarterback. I think they have enough creativity, enough athletes on the field that can maybe match up with Texas. So I'm with you. I don't know. I got to see how I feel the day of that game. But as of right now, I see Washington upset Texas. So we'll see how it plays out. But I think that'll be a great game too. Can't wait to watch it.
All right, there, ladies and gentlemen, y'all heard it. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we appreciate y'all watching this video, man. I know it's been a while since we did one, but life happened. My brother, the little brother, he married, got 2 little adorable nieces of mine, and he got to take care of them, So we're gonna try to keep this thing going. It's just hard to because
right. Yeah, we'll make sure we do it, and if we end up getting past Michigan on Monday, then we'll definitely do another one for the championship week. So we'll definitely tap back in and do it. But again, bro, man, I appreciate you. Love you. Looking forward to hopefully we get past this one and we get to the next one and we can do it again. And we'll check back in then. And for everything, y'all continue to support my brother. Check it out on all the different platforms. I don't know, YouTube, Facebook, podcasts, all that stuff. Y'all support. I appreciate the love and support, and and more importantly, roll tide. And now I'll see y'all in the next one.
Y'all heard and love you, bro.
All right, bro. Love you.
Yeah.